For 2 centuries, explorers have thrown millions of dollars and advanced drilling technology at a single hole in the ground and failed to crack it. The obsessive pursuit of whatever sits at the bottom has bankrupted excavation companies and cost several explorers their lives. Geographically, the mystery sits on Oak Island, an unassuming, quiet patch of land off the coast of Nova Scotia. That peaceful exterior is a deliberate deception. Long before anyone encounters a physical booby trap, the vault relies on a highly effective psychological mechanism, the obsessive curiosity it triggers in those who uncover its structure. The trap caught its first victims in the summer of 1795, when 16-year-old Daniel McGinnis was exploring the untouched woods on the island. He noticed a specific physical anomaly. An old oak tree bore a heavy scar on a thick lower branch, extending perfectly over a shallow depression in the earth. It looked exactly like the anchor point for a heavy block-and-tackle pulley. McGinnis returned with 2 friends and started digging. Just a few feet below the surface, their shovels struck a tightly packed layer of flat flagstones. These stones do not occur naturally in this type of soil. Someone had to haul them there and place them by hand. Uncovering those stones confirmed this was a deliberate architectural footprint, creating the initial vacuum that would draw in centuries of treasure hunters. The boys dug past the stones until they hit a massive physical barrier. Exactly 10 feet down, they found a solid platform constructed from heavy oak logs. This was the start of a strict geometric sequence. The builders designed the shaft so that every 10 feet, another perfectly fitted platform blocked the path. Uncovering identical layers at 20 and 30 feet, they realized the architects were constructing a heavily fortified deep earth shaft. By the 30-foot mark, the physical toll became too much. Without proper hoists or structural supports, the sheer depth forced the boys to abandon the dig. The sheer manpower and lumber required to construct these repeating platforms indicates a long-term engineering project rather than the quick, shallow concealment typical of a pirate burial. Soon, professional digging companies arrived on the island, bringing heavy machinery and industrial ambition. Equipped with modern tools, these crews easily pushed past the original 30-foot limit, fully expecting their superior technology to reach the bottom. Right as the workers thought they were closing in, the island launched a sudden counterattack. Thousands of gallons of dark, churning seawater violently burst through the dirt walls, flooding the shaft. The crews turned on their steam pumps, but they noticed a mechanical anomaly. No matter how continuously they pumped, the water level in the shaft remained constant, rising and falling in perfect sync with the ocean tide outside. This forced a terrifying realization. The flooding wasn't natural groundwater, it was a pre-engineered hydraulic trap. The original builders had dug secret lateral tunnels, connecting the deep shaft directly to the ocean. Finding those flood tunnels completely reframed the situation. The pit was an active, weaponized lock designed to drown intruders. The discovery of a functioning hydraulic defense system forced historians to reconsider who was actually capable of this construction. Standard pirates bearing a chest lack the time and skill to excavate lateral ocean tunnels. Instead, this level of subsurface engineering points directly to entities with massive architectural knowledge and endless naval resources. To match the incredible scale of the trap, the theories rapidly escalated. Speculation shifted to ancient European royalty, missing religious orders, and the Knights Templar, and the assumed treasure escalated right alongside those theories. Explorers weren't looking for a box of gold coins anymore. They were hunting for objects of biblical significance, like the Ark of the Covenant. These wild legends are a direct psychological reaction to the vault's sophistication. Society had to invent mythical architects to justify such an unbeatable puzzle. Look at the track record over the last 230 years. Every single generation of explorers that has marched onto that island has walked away defeated. We have split the atom and put rovers on Mars, yet modern engineering completely fails when trying to bypass a centuries-old dirt hole. The mystery ultimately moves away from what might be buried in the dark, revealing the visible genius of the people who dug the hole. The enduring, deadly brilliance of the trap outshines any phantom treasure at the bottom. For over 2 centuries, treasure hunters have poured millions of dollars and thousands of hours into this tiny patch of land off the coast of Nova Scotia. Some have even given their lives, all for a single hole in the ground. You might wonder why anyone would keep digging after decades of failure. The answer is that the island acts like a perfectly calibrated slot machine. It pays out just enough physical evidence to keep people pulling the lever. As early explorers pushed through the dirt, they started pulling up things that did not belong in a remote maritime forest. Pieces of old pottery, strange metal fragments, tools, and ancient coins emerged from the soil. These finds presented a timeline problem. They pointed directly to people visiting and working on Oak Island hundreds of years before any official historical record acknowledged its existence. Then came the discovery that accelerated the hunt from a local curiosity to a global obsession. Deep inside what became known as the Money Pit, searchers pulled up a large stone covered in unrecognized carved symbols. When later cryptographers finally translated the cipher, the message was remarkably direct. 2 million pounds lay buried 40 feet below. We cannot verify that translation today, because the original stone went missing long ago. But its physical absence hardly matters. The psychological hook was set, and the rumor of a massive payday cemented Oak Island's mythic status. But the real story of Oak Island isn't what people found on the surface. As crews pushed deeper underground, the environment itself turned hostile. The further down they dug, the harder the island fought back. The primary obstacle was water. Without warning, the main shaft would rapidly flood with seawater, filling up as fast as crews could bail it out. To explain this, engineers proposed a massive subterranean booby trap. They hypothesized a carefully designed network of flood tunnels connecting the Money Pit directly to the ocean, rigged to automatically drown the shaft the moment anyone dug too close to the vault. Other geologists argued against this ancient engineering marvel. They pointed out that islands are surrounded by ocean, and the limestone beneath the specific island is highly porous. The flooding could simply be natural coastal geology acting exactly as expected. Regardless of its origin, the water created an absolute physical barrier. Digging straight down to the supposed prize was no longer a viable option. This impenetrable water barrier shifted the nature of the project, turning it into an intellectual puzzle that demanded an engineering solution. The unstable, waterlogged earth demanded a steep toll. Over the decades, attempts to bypass the floods led to devastating accidents, collapsed machinery, and fatal cave-ins. Out of those tragedies grew a dark, psychological shadow over the project. A local legend took root, claiming that 7 people must die before the island will finally reveal its secret. This dark legend changed the narrative. The island was now perceived as actively and violently defending its hoard. Yet neither lethal physical barriers nor chilling folklore could break the fever. Modern explorers have refused to walk away. Instead of wooden shovels and hand-cranked buckets, modern crews have brought in massive industrial force. Giant, multi-ton drilling rigs now bite into the earth, designed to punch straight through the bedrock and bypass the flood zones entirely. And where the drills can't reach, the technology takes over. They are using underwater cameras, advanced sonar imagery, and chemical analysis to map out the flooded, unreachable depths. This modern approach is actually yielding results. Sensors and core samples have detected wooden structures buried deep in mud, trace elements of human activity, and strange metal objects far below. While modern science provides high-resolution data, it fails to deliver a definitive answer, keeping the prize out of reach and the obsession alive. We are left with a 200-year paradox. Despite unparalleled technology, vast fortunes spent, and tragic human sacrifice, no one has unearthed a treasure that actually explains the complex mysteries of this site. Pragmatically, there are 2 distinct possibilities. The legendary fortune might have been quietly removed centuries ago, or the gold never existed in the first place. The island likely preserves a completely unwritten, unrecognized chapter of human history. That enduring uncertainty is exactly why people keep digging. Oak Island stands today as a monument to pure human curiosity and our collective refusal to let a good mystery go unsolved.